Hi, and welcome to part 3 of Unit 4. We're talking about parenting. Please be sure to read Chapter 3 in the Guest Wiki text. And I'd like you to watch this video, Dateline Perils of Parenting. You will do a journaling prompt at the end of this presentation, but please watch this video. Parents have so many roles. First of all, parents are individuals. They are people first, and that's kind of important for us to remember. And I laugh a little bit as I say that because it's not uncommon for those of us who work with children to see the parents' roles as just one role, and that being parents, but parents are individuals first. And some of the implications that we have as teachers can be to value them as people first. Recognize that they have their own individual responses, that they're truly individuals first, and they may come to our classrooms with or our offices with a whole host of different ideas in education. It's important for us to form relationships with the person. Parents also wear the hat as the nurturer, giving attention, care, protecting the child, and most importantly, attachment. And those of us who work with children under the age of 3, we know that this is vital to promote attachment. So our roles, the implications for teachers, is to reiterate how important it is for us to be nurturing and supplement it, making sure that we don't violate that parent-child bond. I know of some needy teachers who sometimes want to attach to the child and almost feel a sense of entitlement with the child, and maybe even a little jealous when the child wants to go to mom. That doesn't help the child in any way. Being a secondary attachment, being a person who is there for the child, who is willing to commit to the child to meet his or her needs, absolutely. But violating the parent-child bond, not helpful. Being aware of attachment issues, how can we assist the parents in attaching and promote it, of course. We want to encourage children in nurturing, or parents in nurturing activities by giving them tools to nurture their child. We'll come across parents who don't know how to nurture, whereby some of us are natural nurturers, not everyone is. So we'll want to do just that. And then extend the whole family in nurturing, older children, grandparents, and so forth. Another role that parents play is that of a significant other or a spouse, a friend, a coworker, siblings. Here I have a picture down in that bottom right. This is a picture of me as a sibling. Yeah, we are in adult relationships. Some of the implications for us as teachers include, when appropriate, encourage efforts for positive peer relationships. Sometimes parents may bring to us gossip or talk poorly about a spouse or ex-spouse. Let's take the role as those who want to promote harmony to promote positive peer relationships and stay out of gossip and stay out of disharmony. Encourage a stable home atmosphere, and that means that we role model such in our classrooms. Making a classroom climate home-like and stable. Parents also carry the role of worker. Many of your parents have jobs, and they have jobs at home or at school and at schools, workplaces. They have a lot of different jobs. Implications for us is to schedule events to match their work schedules. What times would be best to invite parents into the classroom or into conversation? Keeping an open door policy. Best practices in education is to have just that, so that parents can come and visit during lunch or school breaks or during their breaks. Encourage stress management. We can do that by simply modeling it, but also putting up little notes about breathing and what things they can do with the children to reduce the stress. Because when you're juggling so many roles, believe me, there's stress, as many of you can attest as well. Parents are also community members. They're part of a number of organizations, and they might be volunteers, they might attend worship places or other community organizations. Implications for us is that sometimes asking for more participation in our classrooms might be overwhelming. Schedule meetings and activities with the consideration of other regularly scheduled events. Just give this quick example. When I was living in the Midwest, Wednesday nights were church nights. So having school events on Wednesday nights was often of great conflict for families, and they had to choose one or the other. Don't assume that parents are too busy and not include them. That can be disastrous. Parents, ask them, include them, but don't make them feel guilty. That's not going to be helpful. But if you ask them and perhaps give them different tasks to do that they might be able to do at times that are outside of the regular ed classroom, that can help them be a part of the school community. They're also educators, and honestly, they're the first educator. They are the guides and role models, and they're the child's first glimpse at education. Implications for teachers, that they might want to have resources. Let's not shove it down their throats, but let's provide them. And engage in discussion about developmentally appropriate practices. We know, we're learning what developmentally appropriate practices are and what children should be doing at various ages and stages. Parents don't. Not all parents have taken child development courses. We get to be that avenue for them to learn about it, such. And share information. Share. That's why I'm having you put together the resource packet, so that you'll have information to share. So do it freely and graciously. Parents are also consumers, and childcare is a consumption. It takes a lot of income to rear children. Not only the cost of childcare, but education of all kinds, and clothing and food, and well, you know. We're consumers. I found this little ditty. How much does it cost to raise your child? Oh my, that can be daunting. Implications for teachers. Parents want their money's worth. So if we're their educator, or if they're coming to us and we're social workers helping them, they want to know. They want to know where their money is going to. So please understand demands for nutritious snacks and clean diapers may be met with, what? More? Look for ways to subsidize the cost of childcare. Real quick, just a story that happened. I went to the dentist, and they were stating how important it is for us to use not manual toothbrushes, but electronic toothbrushes. And as I was kind of rolling my eyes, like, okay, one more thing. I know that the dentist costs a lot of money, and so I was thinking about, as a consumer, as I was leaving, the hygienist handed me a stack of ads and coupons for purchasing these electronic toothbrushes, $10 off coupons, $5 off coupons, and so forth. That was like, oh, ways to subsidize. So yeah, that makes it doable. I appreciated the fact that she saw the burden of additional costs for the consumer. I'd like you to be thinking about how some of the roles of moms and dads, or mothers and fathers, differ. We still have different expectations. Your book addresses some, but I want you to just pay close attention to what you yourself have for expectations of mothers and fathers and how that might be different. I just put together a little bit of information here about the importance of fathers bonding. And so if we can be instruments to allow that, please, let's be that avenue for parents to learn that fathers need bonding as well. We have different types of parenting styles. Parents choose how they're going to rear their children. On the left, we have the authoritarian, and this is the do as I say. This is I'm going to win, you're going to lose. I hold all of the power, demand respect. Of course, there are going to be outcomes for a parent who parents that way. The child might be a little bit more obstinate or rebellious in the end. The child might not be able to make his decisions on his own. On the right, you can see the list of permissive parenting style components. Parents with more hands off. The child wins. They might withdraw from parental responsibilities, and they might just let their child do whatever the child wants because it's easier. Honestly, both of these styles are pretty easy because in the authoritarian, the parent holds all the power. You do as I say. You are my puppet. In the other, the parent's like, you do whatever you want. I'm not going to be responsible for your behavior. Of course, there are going to be adverse outcomes for both. Low self-esteem, inability to make positive decisions, all can have nasty ramifications, of course. But parents also can choose an authoritative or democratic style of parenting. This is where I know, as a parent, I know about child development. What's appropriate for my 2-year-old is not the same as what's appropriate for my 12-year-old. I am self-disciplined. I am responsible as the parent. I set goals and perimeters that are going to be the best for everyone concerned. Approaching with mutual respect, encouraging positive communication, recognizing the need for guidance and direction, but not puppeting the child, and approaching parenting from a win-win attitude. Of course, of these 3 styles, the outcomes are going to be dramatically beautiful in this third style of parenting. What I'd like you to do for Journal 2 is reflect on the parenting style of your parents and how that can be helpful. Next, I'd like you to go through the textbook. Take a look at what some of the parent stressors are pertaining to your text. Fatigue, exhaustion. Irrevocability is when you can't send them back. This is it. You are a parent forever. Parental guilt. That happens to be one of the biggest motivators. Parents do and say things oftentimes out of guilt. Parenting can be very isolating, especially if you're wearing a number of hats. There's just not a lot of time for outside relationships, and that can be very daunting. Your textbook goes through a number of teacher-led implications that can help reduce these stressors. And then uncertainty. The video that you watched, I want you to address the uncertainty. What, there are questions. Am I doing this right? Am I doing this well? What's the right way? What's the wrong way? Am I screwing up my child? Those are powerful parts of parenting. Please respond to the video. Here are the statements that I'd like you to respond to.